Just so you won't say that we don't read any of the YouTube comments. Yes, we do. We actually read all of them. We even reply to some of them if we deem it necessary. But why am I mentioning this? Because some people didn't like the fact that with the Renault Megane test, we said that these LED strips here below the lights look like when you wake up in the morning like this. And also with the Renault Talisman, we mentioned that the plastics inside aren't as good as that of the Volkswagen Passat. And some of you said that, well, they're the same. But that's not really important at the moment. Why we are testing the Renault Talisman again is because it's an estate. Yes, Renault Talisman Grandtour, an estate version of the Beauty we already tested on our channel. The designers didn't rest and made this version very likable as well, with details such as this roof indentation at the back that adds a little flair. Or the fake chrome exhaust tips at the back, which give the Talisman sporty looks. And let's not forget the distinctive back and front lights, which are nowadays appearing on quite a few Renault models. So, it's still a beauty. If you're wondering about the space in the back of the Renault Talisman, then wonder no more. With the estates, it's usually the case that you have the most surface area of any family car anyway, so you won't have a problem with that. Plus, you have these little cubby holes back here in which you can put some smaller things that shouldn't be rolling around. And in the back, you also have a tire changing kit. If you're wondering why we're always recording the trunk of the cars, well, it's a simple reason. My cameraman refuses to do any menial work like this, so it's up to me to do it, to put all this equipment away. And I don't want to do it because it's hot, it's fairly unpleasant. Fortunately, as I said, there's quite a lot of space in the back, so I won't have a problem with that, and neither will you. There you go. The Talisman has optional automatic trunk doors, which is quite practical. So then, how does a German engineer workday look compared to a French engineer workday? Well, the German, of course, comes to work at precisely 6 o'clock in the morning. He pulls out his notebook, looks at the car and goes, yes, this car must be exactly 4,767 millimeters long. But we have to laser check that because the humidity has gone up by a slight percentage and it might have changed. We have tested the LED lights about 32 times this morning. They are still working. And then their workday comes to a close in the evening, and then they remember, the shape. Done, practical. The French engineers, on the other hand, don't really deal with such small details. They're more fashionable. So they come to the car and, magnifique. The car, it is like a woman. It must have a body, a sexy body. It must be sensual, pure erotique. And then the workday slowly comes to a close. They look at the clock. Jérôme, what about the engine? Oh, I have an idea. Maybe the 1.6 liter from the Megane. Perfect. But here on our show, we rather test and drive the cars instead of just watch them. Aha, here's the 4Control system in action. No, that wasn't the front wheel, but rather the rear, which the system turns opposite to the front ones at low speeds, which makes the car more agile. At higher speeds, the rear wheels will turn the same direction as the front and help glide the Talisman over the motorway. This car has pretty much the same engine as the Renault Espace that we tested a while ago, the 1.6-liter diesel engine with 380 Newton meters of torque, which is really quite enough, and it's nice enough to drive in the cities or on the motorway if you're not overdoing it. Sometimes you do wish for a little bit more liveliness, a little bit more power, but okay, that's what we get. The consumption is about 6 liters per 100 kilometers. If you're going to be pushing it, 6.5, maybe 7, but you'd really be driving on the limit there. And also, you won't be hot in the summer or cold in the winter, because over here we have a button to turn on the heated steering wheel. Well, to turn on the heating, not the actual steering wheel. Over here we have buttons under the screen to turn on the heating of the seats or cooling of the seats, which is especially nice with a car like this where you have leather-wrapped seats which get extremely hot in the summer. And also one final button, the automatic parking or the parking assist. If you wish to see how that works on the Renault Espace, check out this video over here. We drove this car about 900 kilometers, mostly on motorways. It's a Grand Tour, right? Driving and riding it was rather pleasurable and comfortable. The consumption will depend on your right foot. Like we said, 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers if you want to stick to the limits. Hey, it's not over yet. What about the interior? The test Talisman was wrapped in leather and fake wood trim, which looked great. We have to applaud the seats, which are very comfortable. As far as space goes, you have quite a few options. For example, this one over here for your mobile phone, and then next to the gear shifter you have a small compartment where you have the SD card slot, so you can listen to your own music. You also have an auxiliary connector, a USB connector, and the 12-volt connector. Then moving back, you have space for 2 drinks or perhaps your glasses. And under the armrest, you have space for your wallet. And if you take that little cubby hole out, you have quite a big space here, including space for drinks, cooled drinks. There are 2 USB connectors at the back, so your kids can play Pokemon Go. The Talisman also has toys for grown-ups, like the changing of ambient colors with a multifunctional control knob. You can buy the base Talisman for 21,000 euros, while you can get the Estate with the Zen equipment and plenty of extras for 40,000 euros.